Melancholy Guy talks recovery, living with addiction. I am, this is a companion podcast to my Tumblr blog. Oh, sorry. This is a companion podcast to my life, The Melancholy Guy, daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a single, open, polyamorous African American male living in recovery. I am the Melancholy Guy, Calvin, or CPJR if you know me. And today, I definitely believe that change I must or die I will. My blog can be found at melancholyguy.tumblr.com. So let's get it popping. We got a lot to talk about today. I made a change, if you can tell in my introduction. I took out divorced and put in single because I've been divorced for, I think, since 2015 now. So that's been 5 years. So I'm basically single now, in the manner of speaking. We'll talk about that later. I'm back. I'm doing another episode, and I want to take a break from what I've been doing. I've been talking about the beginning. I was doing back to the beginning, and today should be back to the beginning part 3, I believe, or something like that. But I'm going to take a break. And today we're going to talk about recovery and spirituality, episode 43. Today is February 16th, 2 days after Happy Valentine's Day, or Valentine's Day. I hope you had a good one. I had a great one. I went to see the movie The Photograph with someone very important in my life now, and again, I'll talk about that later. I don't want to talk too soon about things. I'm going to stay focused on recovery. But the movie was great. If Issa Rae looked amazing, and if you want to see a love story, a black love story, that's basically just what it is, a good love story. I recommend that highly. So in my limited time, I want to talk about recovery and spirituality. And the reason that I want to switch gears and talk about that right now is because a recent incident at my home kind of brought how important recovery is and how important spirituality is to recovery. What I want to say is that from my experience and what I've seen and what I actually believe now is spirituality or active addiction really separates you from spirituality. And I think that's important to know that if you're dealing with an addict or if you're an active addict, the more you use, the more you're being separated from spirituality. And me, that's your humanity. And I want to talk a bit about like what is spirituality. So I looked it up, and I found this little kind of talk or definition about what is spirituality. And I wanted to read from that. Spirituality is part of the human experience in which we explore who we are and what our life is about. This can include some of the following: getting in touch with your own moral compass, learning to use your moral compass as a guide for how to live your life. For example, if you believe it's wrong to lie, finding ways to live truthfully, respecting yourself and others, getting perspective of your problems. This includes recognizing that it is possible to improve your situation with willpower and support, recognizing that we all have human weaknesses and letting go of pride that may be, listen to this one, letting go of pride that may be getting in the way of asking for help if you need it, receiving and giving support of others. And the reason that I think that for myself, that I was really stuck in my active addiction for so long, and like I say, I didn't say exactly what I normally would say, but today is the day 29 for me since my last use of my drug of choice. Tomorrow is day 30. And if you're on Instagram, you'll see that I'm gonna celebrate my 30 days every time I get 30 days, because I'm gonna be getting them. And if you saw the last episode, you saw that how I for the first time in years, publicly declared that I'm no longer a drinker. I'm not drinking anymore. Um, Hooray! And that's a big deal for me. That's not my drug of choice, like I said before, but it's a big deal for me to say that I'm no longer drinking. So I wanted to say, like, if you looked at that, what I've just read about what spirituality is, it's basically getting to the human condition. Basically, being able to see who you are and how you're hurting other people and how you can become a better person, how you become a productive, how you can be a productive member of society. And the more and more you use, the more and more you separate yourself from that. And for me, it's been like a ping pong for that, because I grew up as a religious person. I didn't grow up as a spiritual person. And then in the last few years after I left religion, I tried to become a spiritual person more and more. But as each step I made into that realm of trying to become a more conscious person and live more consciously, I will still fall back into use, and I'll be separated from that. But now I see that with the use of being an active addiction, I couldn't obtain that spirituality that I really wanted. And then even with being able to go into the 12-step program, I couldn't get into that because of the separation of the higher power. The 12-step program, 12-step programs, NAAA, whatever, anonymous, whatever you want to call it, they are spiritual programs. They're trying to restore the active addict or the addict back to themselves, back to some type of spirituality where they're seeing the damage that's being done to them and the damage to their loved ones by the use of, whatever substance that you're using, because that's basically what's happening. You're using you're not consciously being driven or choosing to use a substance of some sort, a drug, drink, behavior that's causing harm. Okay, that's the first thing that I had to accept, or I have to accept. There's been many, and my use of substances, and the only reason I can say that now is because I'm been 30 days clean. Like I said, as if it was 14 days ago, I probably couldn't say this, but now as I've stopped using, and I had a good weekend, and I was out and I didn't drink or drug, and I was with someone that did had a drink, and it just for the first time in a long time, I was like, enjoy yourself, I'm cool. I was able to just enjoy and be in the moment, and not want to participate in having a drink. It wasn't gonna, I felt as though for the first time in a long time that I felt great, and I didn't need to enhance that. A drink wasn't going to enhance that. And that's no big kudos or anything like that. It was just something that I experienced for the first time. And when I was doing the clip for the last episode, I realized that I actually said that on the thing, that I said I'm not going to drink. So anyway, whatever I do from this point, whether I go deeper into the 12-step programs, NA, or some other anonymous program, that what's going to be happening, what's going to have to happen in my life is I'm going to have to work to restore my spirituality. You know what I mean? That's just basically point blank it. And things that, and I've also found out in the article that I printed out was, what happens when you're doing that, or what you're trying to do to get back to your spirituality, is you're discovering unique gifts and talents, forgiving people who hurt or abused you in the past, and that's trauma, seeking forgiveness for others, gaining new insights, learning from the experiences of your addiction, and giving back to the community. For example, volunteering. And it's been a weekend. I've been with an old friend, a great friend, and I've been this person's friend for 5 years, and just sitting around talking about what's been happening in our lives, between us for the last 5 years and beyond, was just a healing time for me. it's like been laying the groundwork of more work that I need to do. And so it's like, this is a spiritual walk. Um, Restoring yourself, or getting into recovery. There's no other way to do it. You can abstaining from a drug. It's not enough. It's not going to be enough. Some people may have heard the term dry drunk. That's basically what you're going to be. If all you do is stop using, you're just going to be a angry dry drunk. You're going to probably going to go back to using, or just be miserable, and then make everyone else miserable around you. So, recovery is spirituality. It's a spiritual program, and I'm glad I had that time. And I'm sorry for what happened. That I saw what I saw, but I'm really glad that it clicked something in me, and had me really, want to talk about it in this format. And I'll be back next time with back to the beginning part, whatever number I'm on, and we'll go back through my history and talk about how I got to this point here. I'm running out of time. As you know, I only have 15 minutes. If you want to help me out with that, it could be a Patreon. Until I get, I become employed again, I'll pay for it myself. I'll increase the time, because I definitely wanted more time to talk about this, and I wanted to talk about it in a more lengthened format, and take some more time with some of those steps, some of those things about what spirituality is. Spirituality is not religion. Religion to me is not. There's spirituality in religion, but it's not necessarily spiritual all the time. Let me just leave that there. So anyway, I want to take a moment for the still suffering addict. If you're out there and you're suffering from addiction, active addiction, I know what you're going through. Please get help. Ask for help. Contact me, or contact someone who can, point you in the right direction, or just listen. I can listen. That's all I can do, and I can, share my experience, strength, and hope with you. It gets better, and you never have to use one day at a time. So I guess that's it for now. I'll see you next time. And always remember to love and respect yourself first, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace and namaste.